Islamophobia and dehumanization against Muslims has so been normalized, and it's time to address it. Unfortunately, it's been so common for many different politicians, political commentators, and many different radicalized people to spread many different lies about Islam, about Muslims. And a lot of the times, these lies have a very misinformed and disingenuous basis, and it's very important to address them. I'm going to be debunking and addressing one of the biggest lies about Islam. The first lie is the fact that Islam is very violent and actively encourages the killing of non-Muslims. So the reason why this isn't even true is because there are no verses in the Quran that actively encourage the killing of non-believers. Most people falsely quote the Quran 2:191 as a verse that encourages the killing of non-believers because it says, quote-unquote, kill them wherever you find them. This also happens to be one of the only verses that people utilize to support their lies about Islam's encouragement of killing non-believers. That reading is off because this verse is pretty much in the context of the narration of a war. In this context, quote-unquote them refers to the different groups that were involved in the persecution of Muslims. The setting of this verse is the early Islamic era where many Muslims were being persecuted by different groups and individuals. The verse before this in the Quran 2:190 literally says, fight those who fight you but do not transgress. This is to say that one of the only verses that many people refer to in supporting their beliefs about Islam being violent towards non-believers doesn't even have anything to do with non-believers to begin with. It is best understood as setting conditions for defense during a time where many Muslims were persecuted. In contrast, there are many different Islamic verses that discourage the act of killing and that actually actively encourage kindness. We can start with Quran 5:32, which literally says that the killing of one man equivocates to the killing of all of mankind. And Quran 2:256 directly says that there is no compulsion in religion, which actively discourages forced conversions. We also have the Quran verse 68, which is pretty much where God actively encourages Muslims to be kind and just towards non-Muslims that are not persecuting Muslims. This is to say that I don't know where people are getting the idea that Islam encourages the killing of non-believers, because that idea directly contradicts the Quran. And even if one was to refer to militia groups like ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, etc., the mere fact that these groups are acting in direct contradiction of the highest Islamic holy book, which is the Quran, makes it so that they don't represent all of Islam. Please continue spreading awareness about Islamophobia. Thank you for watching.